Yo, it's your boy, Orion, one half of the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. Today's new video, live stream, NFL Top 5 Traded Players going into the 2020 NFL season with your boy, Orion, and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Today has been a busy day. Did a couple reaction videos to kind of get things moving. Then we saw the big news, the big story, the big trade. Jamal Adams, the #1 safety from the Jets, getting traded over to the Seahawks. Pretty crazy. I mean, I wasn't really expecting any big news like that, but second live stream of the day, and then on top of that, besides the second live stream, 2 reaction videos. So it's been a pretty crazy day. So NFL Top 5 Traded Players going into the 2020 NFL season with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. So right now we got the Diamondbacks and the Padres on. We end up having, what else is on today? We had the Yankees that I was watching earlier, and they were getting destroyed by the Nats. And then we got actually NFL action football. We got the wild card playoffs, the Seahawks and the Eagles that I'm watching at this point right now. So I'm kind of flipping back and forth. Anonymous Donut, Who Dat Nation, Who Dat, You Dat. Man, it's been crazy. A very busy day with sports, NFL, MLB. Hop in the room, join your boy, and let's talk about this list, because this is something that I did early this morning. You know, I was prepping for a show for tonight, but then I ended up doing the NFL Smartest Plays reaction video from my boy Highlight Heaven. Then I did a AK-41 Alvin Kamara tribute video for his salute 25th birthday today. Then the Jamal Adams news broke, going to the Seahawks, which is incredible. Salute to him to be able to get somewhere where you actually have a future, where you're going to be able to taste the playoffs. And then I got a great show today. NFL Top 5 Traded Players by me going into the 2020 NFL season with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. So I'm flipping back and forth. I got the Eagles, fly Eagles fly. I got them on TV right now, going against the Seahawks last year, fourth quarter, 17-9. Playoffs, they're doing a playoff rewind on NFL Network. So obviously I'm soaking in all the NFL, all the MLB. Anonymous Donut, Saints in the building. Who dat? You dat. Lenny D, what it do, my guy? I'm trying to keep you guys entertained. I'm trying to be busy. I mean, it's been a long day. 2 reaction videos, 2 live streams. This might be a record for me. I don't know if I've ever... Woo! What a move! Woo! Eagles! First down, Eagles! What a play! Man, he got fucking blasted. Okay, I'm going to have to start doing some live play-by-play reactions to some of these older games that they're showing. And then I believe they're showing the Niners and the Vikings next. So I'll end up watching that and enjoying that. Look at this play by Miles Sanders. Skirt! Trying to get me? No! Boom! And then he gets blasted forward for another 5 yards. Move the fucking chains. Great play. Lenny, are you watching this? I don't know if you are, baby. He said, LMAO, the Nats. I just swiped at that one. He said, love the uploads, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. But I got a great show today. I imagine since it is, Saturday night, a lot of people are going to be busy. A lot of people got other things going on. But that's all right, man. I'm going to still grind. I'm putting out a lot of material for y'all. Reaction videos, live streams. Plus, I think I'm going to be doing the Barton to Carver tomorrow. Here in Oregon, it's supposed to be like 95 to 102 tomorrow. So they have this famous float that we typically do, Barton to Carver on the Clackamas. So people get their rafts and they get their, different like floating devices. They grab their liquor, they grab their beer and their snacks, and then you go float for about 3 to 4 hours with a bunch of homies. You just tie off together, go down some rapids. It's pretty fun, man. That's one of the kind of nice perks of living in Oregon. You're about an hour and a half away from Mount Hood, or if you want to go to the ocean, the Pacific Ocean, to the beach or the coast, you want to go downtown, you want to be able to have that nightlife, you're 30 minutes away. And with this, we're not even that far from this Barton Carver float from my house. It's only probably about a 30-minute drive, so I'm definitely excited for that. So I'm going to be doing that probably early in the morning, and that's going to take up a good chunk of the day. So I wanted to make sure I can put out as much material as possible. NFL top 5 traded players going into the 2020 NFL season with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. So I know that more people will hop into the room as the video goes on. I'll probably end up, going on for, I don't know, I probably would assume maybe an hour or so, but I got a great show and people can rewatch, obviously, this stream at that point, and then they can catch up on it if they get a chance to miss it. Lenny D said that playoff game, if Wentz didn't get cheap shotted by Clowney, we would have beaten the Seahawks. Guess what? I agree with you. That definitely was a cheap shot. I wasn't expecting Clowney to do something like that, but I totally agree. It totally changed the whole impact of the game. But I got a great list here, and I'll go through my honorable mentions. So obviously I've been doing a lot of, Tampa Bay Buccaneer talk, about Tom Brady, Gronk, and as obviously being one of the top 5 traded players, I could have Gronk in my top 5, but I'm not. All right, so I've done plenty of videos where I've given Gronk the love. I've also done videos like the Madden 21 rating where they had Gronk rated a 95, which is ridiculous, as a third best tight end. So there's been some good positive Gronk news. There's been some ridiculous Gronk ratings for Madden, right? But I want to go ahead and just give him an honorable mention. I know Gronk is going to be doing the Gronk spiking. The pirate ship is going to be booming, and I'm excited for this season. Hasn't played football in about a year and a half, but I'm really excited for his progression to get out there. I ended up watching on one of my feeds, it just came up. I don't know how. Probably because my phone is fucking listening to me. But it had Gronk do like undercover Lyft or undercover Uber, and he was like dressed up, as like with a wig on, and he was like giving people rides, in that general East Coast area. But I love myself some Gronk Spike, so he's definitely on my honorable mention list, but I'm not going to put him in my top 5. Does he deserve to be in my top 5 list? Of course, but I want to give some love to some of the other players. Another one is the Washington football team's ex-player, now the current bang, bang, Niner gang, San Francisco 49ers, Trent Williams. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to pay dividends for the San Francisco 49ers. They fell a little short with Patrick Mahomes. It's obviously one of those things where it's tough. When you play the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, how are you going to be able to beat a team like that? But you got to think, to go from 4-12 to 12-4 and to see the impact of Deebo Samuel, Nick Bosa, Kyle Shanahan, they'll gently and gladly welcome another guy with McGlinchey, Trent Williams, obviously to go over and play tackle for the San Francisco 49ers, to get kind of out of that firestorm, the Washington football team, and then play in San Francisco. I imagine he's pretty excited. He actually has a shot to make a name for himself there in San Francisco. So Rob Gronkowski, honorable mention. Trent Williams, honorable mention. And I got one more honorable mention that I want to shout out. Jurrell Casey. Not a lot of people know who he is. If you watched Titans football last season, he's a real impact player. I love him. Now he's going to the Broncos. Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Jurrell Casey. I really like where they're going. Justin Simmons at safety. So if Drew Lock can just take the next step, I think the Broncos have a shot for a wild card. I'm not saying they're going to get it, right? I think they're kind of going to cap out around 7 or 8 wins, right? Especially when you have teams like the Steelers, the Colts, the Patriots, or the Bills that are going to be lining up for the wild card. The Bills may win the AFC East and the Patriots get the wild card, or the Patriots might win the AFC East and the Bills get the wild card. But you're only going to have so many spots. So I am excited to see the progression of the Titans and the Broncos with or without Jurrell Casey. So Rob Gronkowski, Trent Williams, Jurrell Casey. Those are my 3 honorable mentions, and I want to make sure we get into this list because this list is sexy, baby. I mean, these NFL top 5 traded players going into 2020 with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. NFL smartest plays in the NFL. all-time reaction video. AK-41, 2019-2020 birthday highlights, saluting to his 25th birthday. Reaction video earlier today. Live stream, breaking news. Jamal Adams, the number one safety in football, traded to the Seahawks. 2-hour live stream, done. And now we're on the fourth video. 2 reaction, 2 live streams. Your boy's grinding. It's crazy, man. And like I said, I've been doing a lot of research in between, watching film, watching MLB, watching NFL Network. We got the Eagles and the Seahawks. They're doing a playoff rewind from 2019. So enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and make the most of it. We're getting closer and closer to the NFL, right? Baseball's back. Basketball is getting back. Now we just need our football. You feel me? The reason why I said we would have had beaten the Seahawks is that McCown was in the red zone countless times, and Wentz is like top 3, if not number 1 in the red zone. Absolutely. I'm grinding, baby. Do you see my grind, Lenny? Do you see my grind? I am grinding. I'm grinding, baby. I am grinding. Emmanuel Sanders, you could definitely say that, but it wasn't really a trade. It was an acquisition. You know what I mean? So there's different players that you can name, and like I said, I've given Emmanuel Sanders a lot of love. Gronk I could have put in my top 5. There's a lot of guys, but these guys right here, these are the guys that I want to be able to shout out and give some love because they really deserve it. So we're getting into the list now. NFL top 5 traded players going into the 2020 NFL season with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Honorable mention, Rob Gronkowski, 49ers, Trent Williams, formerly of the Washington football team, and Jurrell Casey, a sleeper player that's going from the Titans, a great team, to the Broncos. So I'm excited to see that kind of chemistry that he can build with the Denver Broncos squad. Said, should Kyler Murray be considered for fantasy football since Nuke is in there? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me? They're going to be one of the top 10 offenses in the league, and arguably they could probably be top 5. I mean, I know my Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be lit, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be lit. The Cardinals are going to be lit. You know that the New Orleans Saints are going to be lit. The Chiefs are going to be lit. You know that the Ravens are going to be lit. Eagles, Cowboys. I mean, I can go on and on and on all these amazing top-tier offenses, but definitely Kyler Murray isn't going to be a guy that you're going to draft in the first round because if you know fantasy football and how it works, right? You go running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver, or wide receiver, running back, wide receiver. But you want to make sure you get a lot of running backs and wide receivers before you get into other things like defense, kicker. Quarterback is late. You know, you're going to want to get a quarterback typically, 6th, 7th, 8th round. But I definitely know that Kyler Murray is going to be in the MVP race, just like Deshaun Watson. Will Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson win the MVP? No. But it wouldn't surprise me if these guys get votes, with Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. And there'll be other players, maybe running backs, Run CMC and a few other people that might get some consideration as well. Bang! JJ Trilla in the house. We damn boys, Cowboys in the building. Always we got Cowboys love. We got Eagles love. We got Eagles and the Seahawks playoffs from 2019. JJ Trilla's in here. He wants to talk some smack to all the Eagles fans. Lenny D wants to talk the smack back. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love you guys, man. Thank God for Cowboys fans and Eagles fans. So let's get into my list now. Gronk is an honorable mention. Trent Williams from the Washington football team to the 49ers, and Jurrell Casey from the Titans to the Broncos. Number 5. Number 5 on my list is one of my favorite players in the entire NFL. This guy is so versatile. He can play safety. He could play corner. He could play almost any position in the secondary. Last year, he had 46 tackles, 36 solo, 2 interceptions, which is a little low because a couple years ago, he threw out a big number, 8 picks. I love this guy. They call him Big Play, a.k.a. Darius Big Play Slay at number 5. Fly, Eagles, fly. I know you absolutely love this, right? From 2015 to 2018, the Philadelphia Eagles, 7 corners you drafted in that time period just trying to find that number 1 corner. It's crazy. From 2015 to 2018, you drafted 7 motherfucking corners. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they couldn't fill the role. Thank God Darius Slay is there. Step in, Big Play Slay. 3 years, 50 milli, an extension. He's going to get more than 46 tackles, more than 36 solo. And if I had to put a bet on it with all the players that he has around him, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets 4 to 6 picks this season. Totally crush the numbers that he had when he was in Detroit. And he's going to mean a lot to this franchise. You know, based off Malcolm Jenkins moving on to the Saints and going back where kind of he started, they needed some stability in the secondary, and I absolutely love his leadership. You got Fletcher Cox up front, but then you have a Darius Slay on the back end. I absolutely love this player, and I think he's going to crush his numbers, and I think Eagles fans are really going to like him. I mean, anytime you're a corner or a safety, you know, like I said, those are the positions that the Eagles have had some issues with. You know, in the last few years, they've been kind of tore apart, kind of like my Buccaneers over the years. You know, they get nitpicked, and especially if you're in a division that likes to throw, especially mine, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton previously, Drew Brees. You know, if you don't got guys that can cover in the secondary at corner or safety, I mean, you typically lose a lot of games, which we have. But we got Tom Brady now, we got Gronk, and I really like what the Eagles have done. We just need to have them stay healthy. But big play Slay, Darius Slay, you know he made my list at number 5. He is the real deal, Holyfield. Number 4. Number 4 on my list is a very savvy wide receiver. He likes to talk. He talks the talk. He walks the walk. He has been a little brash and outspoken, but he has put up big numbers, and now he gets a chance to show himself out in Buffalo. He's got a guy named Josh that's going to be his homie for a long time. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about number 4, Stefon Diggs, formerly of the Minnesota Vikings, currently on the Buffalo Bills. All right, Stefon Diggs last season, 63 receptions, a career-high 1,130 yards, 6 house calls, 6 TDs. He's going to be able to crush the reception number. He's going to get more yards in the air, more than 1130, and you best believe he's got a great shot to get double-digit touchdowns. Believe that. He might get 6 touchdowns within the first month and a half with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. They finally have a true number 1 receiver. I'm super excited to be able to see what he can do with the rest of the crew. And it's one of those things, they just need a couple more pieces. I definitely think that they can win the AFC East, even over the New England Patriots with Josh McDaniels, Bill Belichick, and Cam Newton. I feel they have more of a complete team. Look for them to do some damage in the playoffs this season. Bills, AFC East champs, very possible. Stefon Diggs, number 4. He's feisty. He likes to talk shit. He's got an edge to him, but I think he will be doing great things moving forward. Nathan Dotson, Suppo Rizzle, what it do? Your boy's grinding today. 2 reaction videos, 2 live streams, no fucking problem. Number 5, big play, Darius Slay. Number 4, Stefon Diggs. Now we get to number 3. Number 3 is a player that played in Eugene for my Oregon Ducks. I'm very familiar with this player. He is huge, 6'7", 295 pounds. The San Francisco 49ers, bang bang, Niner gang, are going to miss him. Eric Armstead misses him already. Believe that. And this guy is going to be an impact guy, impact player, that if they get to the playoffs this season as a wild card, guess what? It's going to be because of this guy. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Eugene's very own DeForest Buckner, representing the O. Let's go, baby. DeForest Buckner, number 3. San Francisco 49ers to the Colts, D-tackle. They got the trade done. Obviously, in return, Brandon Ayuk got drafted for the Niners, which they're going to need for Deebo Samuel being hurt. But look at these numbers for the D-tackle position. He's not an Aaron Donald, so let's not get it twisted. 62 tackles, 34 solo, 7.5 sacks. I think he's going to obliterate those numbers. I would assume that he'll get to double-digit sacks with the Colts. Darius Leonard in the middle, Malik Hooker on the back end, Andy Espinosa from Iowa. I really love what the Colts are doing. They just need a little bit more depth at wide receiver, but Phillip Rivers, you got Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin, Marlon Mack, T.Y. Hilton. They're getting there. And even with the talent that they have, I still think that they're going to compete for one of the wild card spots. DeForest Buckner, 6'7", 295. In the last 2 seasons, he's combined for 19.5 sacks at D-tackle. Let's go. I know Aaron Donald got some of those numbers in 1 season, but not a lot of us can beat Aaron Donald. Now, he's an impact player, and if the Colts make the playoffs, it's going to be because of DeForest Buckner and a little bit of Phillip Rivers and Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack. Believe that. Number 3, DeForest Buckner. Number two is one of my favorite players at DN of all time. This guy played with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He knows what to do. Cardinals, he's very familiar with their system as well. He's one of those guys that you can count on for his leadership. He's got good hands. He's got good footwork. He is a future Hall of Famer. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about great defensive end, Pro Bowler, perennial Pro Bowler, Calais Campbell. Now, Calais Campbell, 56 tackles, 37 solo, 6.5 sacks. Those are numbers that I think he can obliterate as well, especially getting to double-digit sacks like DeForest Buckner, especially with this new Baltimore Raven team. Judon, him, Marlon Humphrey, and they got all the offense on the other side. The run defense in 2019 for a 14-2 team wasn't that good. All right, they went 14-2, but their run defense was 21st in the league. So there's a reason why they brought in Calais Campbell, ranked 21st in yards allowed per carry. That can't happen this season if they want to be able to go further along, make an AFC championship game, and represent the AFC and win the Super Bowl. All right, double-digit sacks in 2020 for Calais Campbell. He can definitely step in immediately. He's capable. You got Derek Wolfe from the Broncos as well, which I love that addition. So they got a lot of pieces that will be able to make a lot of noise moving forward. Number 2, Calais Campbell. And then number 1, the best person, the best NFL player. My number 1 in my 5 traded players that is going to show out. It's in the thumbnail. You already know it is. Texans wide receiver, great. Now he's part of the Cardinals and Kyler Murray. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about DeAndre Hopkins. 104 receptions, 1,165 yards, 7 TDs. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get that many receptions, but I definitely think he can get more yards, and he definitely can get more than 7 TDs with Kyler Murray, even though you got Larry Fitzgerald. You got Andy Isabella. You got Christian Kirk, Kenyon Drake, and plenty of other guys, Keyshawn Johnson, but not the one that played on my team. I mean, they got wide receivers on deck. You feel me? But I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to make such an impact with that team. They might not make the playoffs this season because the defense is piss poor, even though they got a few pieces like Chandler Jones. Who? Chandler Jones. And then they got Budda Baker, and they obviously have a nice piece in the middle from the draft from Clemson, Isaiah Simmons, but they still got a long ways to go. He's got great hands. He's a great route runner. 50-50 balls, forget about it. He's a deep threat. He's a short threat. He can do anything and everything. He's literally been a top 2 wide receiver for as many years he's been in the league. It's always been AB and him, Michael Thomas and him. Julio has always been behind him, in my opinion. I always love this player. Absolutely, 100%. DeAndre Hopkins is the real deal. Leader, all of the above is really what I love about him. His leadership on and off the field, he's great. The defense ranked last in 2019, so they definitely need Hopkins' help to put up points. So that is my number 1 player out of my NFL top 5 traded players going into 2020, DeAndre Hopkins. Honorable mention, Rob Gronkowski, Trent Williams, Jarrell Casey. Number 5, Darius Slay. Number 4, Stephon Diggs. Number 3, DeForest Buckner. Number 2, Calais Campbell. Number 1, DeAndre Hopkins. Woo! That's the list, baby. Man, it's been a long day. Long day. Lots of MLB, a lot of action, a lot of videos that I've been putting out. So I hope everyone is having a good day. Like I said, this video wasn't going to be one of those long live streams. I was just going to come on for a little bit. I'm watching NFL Network. I'm watching a lot of MLB matchups as well. But I figured, you know what? I already had this show planned out, earlier this morning, and then all this other news broke. So I figured, you know what? Your boy's grinding. I'm going to put out a lot of material, and I hope you guys enjoy it. They got the Seahawks. They got the Eagles playoff game on right now. And I'm just going to acknowledge everybody that's in the room at this point. And again, I didn't want to go for a long period of time with the list, but I wanted just to be able to say hello, and I hope everyone's having a great evening. Anonymous Donut, Nylon Saints in the building, Lenny D, Fly Eagles Fly in the building, what it do, Artisan in the building. So how about Emmanuel Sanders? I love him. He's going to be great this season. Kyler Murray definitely considered in fantasy football. I mean, they might have a top 5 offense, and if you got Kyler Murray at your QB, and then on top of some dominant, running backs and wide receivers, that could be good enough to get you to the championship game in fantasy, and that's facts, as long as you don't pick them too early. JJ Trelly says, we about to baptize the Cowboys in the name of Jesus. Woo! The shit talking always gets spicy with the Eagles and Cowboys. Do you agree with Nuke when he said that he thinks that he's the top wide receiver in the league, and if he had great quarterbacks like Breeze or Michael Thomas, Ryan for Julio, that he'd be the number 1 without a doubt? I mean, if you think about it, he hasn't really had a good quarterback prior to Deshaun Watson, and he put up great numbers. I mean, AB had who? Ben Roethlisberger. Julio has always had Matt Ryan, and he's had all those great stats with shitty QBs up to this, right? But now you got Deshaun Watson, and then now you're going to Kyler Murray. So I think, yeah, there's definitely a possibility. But if you remember, AB had a string of numbers, obviously where he was the number one wide receiver, but again, he had Big Ben. So if he ended up having Kyler Murray for his whole career, or if he ended up having, even Deshaun Watson for that whole time period, yeah, he probably would be the number one wide receiver without a doubt, just with his numbers. With Julio, I'm not really big on Julio like a lot of people are. I was big on Megatron because I think Megatron and Julio have a similar body type, but Megatron got in the end zone. Julio don't get in the end zone, and you need to be able to get in the end zone to help win games for you. From the 20 to the 20, he's amazing. When he plays defense, when he needs to go after a guy, great effort. From getting receptions from the slant, the post route, he can do it all. He's one of the greatest wide receivers we've ever seen. But I'm just personally like DeAndre Hopkins and Michael Thomas and AB a little bit more when they were playing. I still think Julio is a top 3 wide receiver, but he just doesn't get in the end zone enough for me. You know what I mean? Like for me, Jerry Rice, number 1 all time, Randy Moss, number 2. A lot of people have T.O., at 3, which is well-deserved. But I like Megatron, for the time that he played. It's like Barry Sanders. Everyone's going to have a preference. But I'm really big on Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, Megatron, just how dynamic that they were, And then, like I said, some people love T.O., some people hate him. I still think T.O. is an amazing wide receiver. A lot of people have him at 2, 3, 4, 5 all-time. Well-respected, and some people don't like him based on his shit-talking and whatnot. But, me personally, I always liked Randy Moss and Megatron more than T.O., and then Jerry Rice is the king. No one's ever going to touch him, ever. I said, I'm so happy that Darby is gone. He a bum, Lenny D. I know, huh? So you're about to gut that team in 2021. Woo-hoo-hoo! Nathan Dotson in the building. What to do, my guy? Say, y'all overpaid all them players. Minus Zeke. Your team is doo-doo. Oh, man. You guys fucking cracked me up. He said, bet. He puts up 100 on y'all both games. JJ Trilla. Woo, baby. See, I'm not saying he can't, but I wouldn't guarantee that he would. Zachary in the building. Arizona is going to be so much fun to watch. Heel Puck in the building. DeAndre Hopkins was doing it with T.J. Yates. Facts. Matt Schaub. Just a bunch of booty players. And that's why I absolutely love DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to really make a huge difference on the roster. But if Deshaun Watson can get that team to the playoffs without him, with Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks, the injury-prone Will Fuller, that he definitely deserves to be in that MVP category if he ends up getting a team like that to the playoffs. And the same can be said for Kyler Murray. They don't have a very, very good defense. They got a lot of sexy pieces on offense. But that's me. Lenny D, top 5 wide receivers all time is 1, Jerry Rice, 2, Randy Moss, 3, T.O., 4, Megatron, 5, Larry Fitzgerald. That's a pretty good list. Larry Fitzgerald is always one of those guys that gets slept on. One of the greatest wide receivers of all time. I watched him at Pitt, and when you watched him at Pitt, he was doing grown man-ish, when he was a freshman, sophomore. It was just crazy how talented he was. But you've also got guys that are coming up like Michael Thomas, based on how he's kind of progressing. By the time that his career is over, he's got a chance to be like number 5. Or possibly higher, depending on his numbers. He needs to be able to get in double-digit touchdowns, at that point, because he's hit, 9, 3 years in a row. But, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O., Megatron, and then it's debatable with Larry Fitzgerald and a few other receivers of all time. But I like that list, Lenny D. That's very respectable. Like I said, for me, I personally like Megatron a little bit more than T.O., but T.O. was great. Let's not get it twisted. He's a fantastic wide receiver. Strong, physical, good hands. Made a lot of plays over the years. You know what I mean? But as far as just the dominance out there on the field, you could argue Megatron was the most dominant wide receiver of all time with him and Randy Moss. Jerry Rice was never the fastest. He never was the strongest, but he was the hardest working wide receiver, period. Just like the Northwest Sports Fanatics, baby. The hardest working NFL YouTuber on planet Earth. You got to grind, you got to grind, you got to grind. All day, all night, and that's facts. NFL top 5 traded players going into the 2020 NFL season with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Tyron's in the building. He said, I'm here, just got off work. Well, I did the show already, but guess what? I'll do it again for you because I do anything for my fans to make sure that they're happy. Like I said, you guys are the best fans on YouTube, period. And I don't have a problem of redoing the show a few times for the fans. So NFL top 5 traded players going into 2020, a reaction by me, your boy, Orion, and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Now, Rob Gronkowski, he definitely deserves to be top 5 on the list, right? But I'm not going to put him there. I'm going to put him an honorable mention because I want to give love to some of the other players on the list. So Rob Gronkowski hasn't played football in about a year and a half. It's going to take some time to be able to get his feet under him, but he's got Tom Brady. The chemistry is undeniable, and I think that those two are going to lead me to a wild card berth, and I'm going to make the playoffs and end the drought since 2007. Rob Gronkowski, honorable mention. The Washington football team, offensive tackle, future Hall of Famer Trent Williams. Now he's on the San Francisco, bang, bang, 49ers. And I absolutely love that he's there with McGlinchey. He's got a nice core around him on that offensive line. So it's going to be exciting to see what the 49ers do with him. And if he can stay healthy, that's going to be a key cog with their O-line moving forward. The only kind of setback was Deebo Samuel getting hurt. But you got Brandon Ayuk coming in from Arizona State, and everyone is going to know Brandon Ayuk's name. He's going to be a clone of Deebo Samuel, possibly better. He's got speed, he's got hands, he's got breakaway ability. I absolutely love him. Brandon Ayuk and Trent Williams. And then my last honorable mention is Jurrell Casey from the Titans, a great defensive stud. Now he is on the Broncos. Derek Wolfe went from the Broncos to the Ravens. So I'm excited to see kind of the transition with Casey. Now you got Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Jurrell Casey, right? You got Justin on the back end, so Justin Simmons. So you got a nice core on the defense. We got to be able to see what Drew Lock, what he can do. You got nice pieces there. Cortland Sutton, a number 1 wide receiver in fantasy and in real life. You got Jerry Jeudy from Bama, amazing, right? So you got lots of nice, sexy pieces on the Denver Broncos. I'm excited to see what they do. And then you got guys like Royce Freeman, Phillip Lindsay, Melvin Gordon. So they have a shot to be able to get in the mix for a wild card, but it might be a year or two away. But I absolutely love them, Jurrell Casey and the rest of the squad. Number 5, my number 5 player is Big Play. He went from the Lions to Fly, Eagles Fly. He's a corner. They've been looking for one for a long time. Who am I talking about? Number 5, Darius Big Play Slay. 46 tackles, 36 solo, 2 picks last year. He'll definitely smash those motherfucking numbers in 2020. From 2015 to 2018, the Eagles drafted 7 motherfucking corners, couldn't get it right for that number 1 role. Thank God for Darius Slay. Now he steps in, 3-year, $50 million extension. He's going to be the man there in the secondary. I'm so excited. You got plenty of pieces like Fletcher Cox and above, Derek Barnett passing, getting the pass rush on. So now they got a nice complement to some of the guys in the front 7. Big Play, Darius Slay at number 5. Number 4 is a shit talker. He walks the walk, but he talks the talk. He's going from the Vikings to the Bills. Josh Allen's got a brand new best friend. Who am I talking about? Number 4, Stefon Diggs. 63 receptions, 1,130 yards, 6 TDs. He's definitely going to crush the 63 receptions. He's going to crush the 6 TDs. It was a career high 1,130 yards last season. So I'm really excited to see what he can do and gain rapport and chemistry with Josh Allen. And if Diggs and Allen have a great year, they're going to win the AFC East even over the Patriots, Josh McDaniels, Bill Belichick, and Cam Newton. All right? Great route runner, great hands, great competitor, one of the best deep ball threats in the NFL, Stefon Diggs. We need him to help Josh Allen out. Number 4, Stefon Diggs. Number three is from Eugene. I'm very familiar with him. I've watched him play a lot. He was on the San Francisco 49ers. Bang, bang, Niner gang. But now he's with the Colts. And the Colts obviously did that trade so that the Niners could get Brandon Ayuk. Now this guy, they haven't had a pass rusher like this at the D-tackle position in a long time. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about number 3, DeForest Buckner. 62 tackles at the D-tackle position. 34 solo, 7.5 sacks. Gonna crush that motherfucking number as well. He's 6'7", 295 pounds. The last 2 seasons, 19.5 sacks combined at D-tackle. He's an impact player, and if him and Phillip Rivers and Jonathan Taylor from Wisconsin, the rookie at running back, play well, they are going to be in the playoffs as a wild card team. The Indianapolis Colts and DeForest Buckner at number 3. Number two is one of my favorite teams in the NFL. They got one of my favorite players that plays D-end. He has been amazing from the Cardinals to the Jags and obviously now the Ravens. Who am I talking about in Ravens flock? I'm talking about number 2, Calais Campbell. 56 tackles, 37 solo, 6.5 sacks. obliterate, destroy, crush those numbers. Now, the run defense in 2019 for a 14-2 team with Lamar Jackson, right, ranked 21st in yards allowed per carry. Not good. So you got Judon. You got Calais Campbell. Derek Wolfe is coming in as well from the Broncos. That should definitely help. And if the Kansas City Chiefs don't represent the AFC, guess what? It's going to be the Baltimore Ravens and the Ravens flock. And I really feel the Chiefs and the Ravens are the front runners for the Super Bowl. Bang! Odin's Child in the building. $10, my guy. In the building. Chiefs Kingdom, stand up. Thank you so much. And number one on the thumbnail, arguably the best wide receiver in the game if you think it's not Michael Thomas. This guy's been doing it with Matt Schaub and a bunch of shitty quarterbacks. Name in, name out, going in, going out. The best one was Deshaun Watson, thank God. But now he's got Kyler Murray. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the Arizona Cardinals superstar, DeAndre Hopkins. 104 receptions, 1,165 yards, 7 TDs. He can beat those numbers. He probably won't get 104 receptions, but I think he can get over 1,165 yards. He can get double-digit touchdowns with Kyler Murray. That's facts, all right? He's got great hands, great route runner. 50-50 balls, forget about it. He's a deep threat. He can run the slant. He can run every single route in your route tree. He's a leader and all of the above. The thing that they need the most, the defense ranked last in 2019, all right? So they got some pieces. Chandler Jones. Who? Chandler Jones. Who? Chandler Jones, right? You got him. He's one of the top 5 defensive players, period, out of all of them that are out there. Love him, right? Then you got Budda Baker on the back end, Isaiah Simmons, coming in at linebacker, who's going to be a Pro Bowl player right out the gates. But they need some help on the offense, and we don't know how great they're going to be, but they definitely have potential to be a top 10 offense and possibly top 5 with Kyler Murray. Kenyon Drake at running back. Larry Fitzgerald, D-Hop on the other side, Andy Isabella, Christian Kirk, Keyshawn Johnson. I mean, they got weapons on weapons on weapons. You feel me? So that's crazy, but that's my list. NFL top 5 traded players going into 2020 with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. If the Adams trade happened earlier, where would you put him on your list? Woo! That is a good question. Well, since it did happen earlier, and I did a separate video for that, I would put him at number 2. That's huge. DeAndre Hopkins, then Jamal Adams, then Calais Campbell, DeForest Buckner, and then a tie between Diggs and Slay. But yeah, that would be all the way up there. Because, I mean, the Seattle Seahawks, they need him. You know what I mean? They don't have a whole lot. Their defensive line, last in the NFL. Offensive line, bottom 5 in the NFL. So they've really been just doing it with Russell Wilson, Chris Carson, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, a little Will Dissly sprinkled in, B-Wags, Bobby Wagner, and they had Frank Clark, but now he's on the Chiefs. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the Seahawks defense is nowhere near what it was. But now you got arguably the best middle linebacker in football in Bobby Wagner since Luke Kuechly retired. And you got the number 1 safety in football in Jamal Adams. I'm going to go up to Seattle. I mean, if I can't watch him this season, the following season, I'm going up there. I got to watch Jamal Adams in person. And I did a lot of videos earlier today. I did NFL smartest plays of all time. So I've been grinding on that. It's just been a crazy, crazy day, and I just didn't expect all this news to kind of start popping off, but I had to be able to put my grind on, you know what I mean? And we're not going to have a preseason, so that means I got to work extra hard to make shit happen, you know what I mean? So earlier I did smartest plays in NFL history, a reaction. Patrick Mahomes with no look pass as the thumbnail, did that. Then I did a tribute for AK-41 the Alien, Alvin Kamara, 2019-2020 highlights in HD for his 25th birthday today by Sports Productions. Then I ended up doing NFL number 1 safety, Jets, Jamal Adams traded to the Seahawks, live stream for 2 hours earlier today. And then now we're here with my NFL top 5 traded players going into the 2020 season. And I got the Vikings and I got the fucking 49ers playoff game on NFL Network. Life is good. You feel me? Life is great. I absolutely, love talking NFL. I love watching film. I love reading. I love putting in the grind. But that's Tyron, that's a great question. With the Jamal Adams trade, I would have him all the way up at number 2, and you could argue number 1, you know what I mean? But the D-Hop is very impactful, and that's going to be probably a little bit more impactful than the Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams is going to do a lot of things, but is it really going to help the Seahawks go further along? I mean, slightly, but with D-Hop, I mean, with the rest of the defense, if they can keep building that O-line and that defense, the Cardinals can make a wild card sooner than later. No one's talking about them. The Cardinals, the Rams, and the Lions, those are my 3 sleeper teams in the NFC. And then as far as the AFC, I got the Broncos as kind of a sleeper team. I don't really know about the Browns, if they're going to be able to get it done. Let's see here. Would you consider Will Shields underrated or top 10? Woo! I love Will Shields. I mean, it just depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about like offensive linemen, just like all-time greats. You know what I mean? I'm a big Orlando Pace guy. You know what I mean? It just depends on the type of player. Like Walter Jones. I'm a big Walter Jones guy. Orlando Pace is probably one of my favorites. There's been so many great players, over the years. But Will Shields is a stud. That's facts. Chiefs sign Kelechi Osamuele. Did they sign him today? I know there's all kinds of moves that have been happening. What it do, Odin Child? How are you, man? Did you watch that bare knuckle fighting yesterday? I was working so hard yesterday that I was gonna end up doing a show or a live stream, and I ended up passing out a little bit early. Was it good? Man, I need to end up getting on that bare knuckle fighting. And that's crazy because remember when you initially told me it was in Florida? And then it ended up being like in Mississippi. I was like, that Florida's a hot spot for that COVID. So I couldn't believe if they had fans there. That would be crazy. But I'm glad that you enjoyed it. You know what I mean? We got NFL football. I got Vikings, Niners, playoff rewind on NFL Network. I've been watching baseball all day on Fox Sports 1. I'm also watching the Padres. I love watching Manny Machado. And then Fernando Tatis Jr. is amazing. So, I'm not sure if a lot of y'all like baseball like me, but I definitely try to tune in as much as possible to everything that's going on. I'm a Northwest Sports Fanatics. What can you say? Bang! Tyron Crafton. Woo! 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 Let's go! That's like an Odin's Child donation. $50 fucking dollars. And that's what I do for my fans. So thank you so much, brother. You know what I mean? Like, I do anything for my fans, even if it's 2 hours in, 3 hours in, I'm tired, but I do it because I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. And obviously with donations like that, you love and you appreciate me, the channel, the hard work, the effort. And thank you so, so much, man. I know that you just got off work. And you probably didn't think that I would redo the show, but it shows you, I'm the hardest working NFL YouTuber on planet Earth, right? But there's nothing that I won't do for my fans, and that's like a huge Odin's Child, Omer Muich, big donation. A lot of people will donate $1, $2, $5, and I have so much gratitude in my heart for all the hard work that I do, because I typically do 5 to 8 hours of film study and going to all the team websites and learning everything. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching of every team. It's one thing to be an expert about my Buccaneers, but to be an expert about all the teams takes a lot of passion and energy. And then to throw in a big $50 donation like that, $10 by Odin's Child, $50 by Tyron Crafton, $2 by JJ Trilla. Thank you, man. Dropping the mic, dropping it down. Man, you guys are the fucking best to me. And, I work really, really hard. This is my entire life. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chiefs Kingdom, stand up. Everybody in the building. You know what I mean? This is one of those things that other people have priorities of whatever it may be. But let it be known, Northwest Sports Fanatics is my number one priority in fucking life. You know what I mean? I've been grinding on this fucking channel since 2013. I sold a Michael Jordan PSA 9 rookie card that's worth about $7 to $8 now, when I sold it a couple years ago for the iMac that I'm on, the speakers, the green screen. You know what I mean? That card went from $5,000 to $8,000 within a couple years. It's going to be worth like $15,000 to $20,000 when he ended up passing away. But I never would, sell something that special to me unless I believed in me and I believed in the channel. And I really appreciate, all the love and all the support and such a generosity from the fans. Thank you so much, man. That means so much to me. Bang! $2, JJ Trilla. Bang! Odin's Child, $10. Bang! $50 motherfucking dollars. Tyron Crafton in the building. Stand up. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the fucking best. Man, NFL top 5 traded players going into the 2020 NFL season with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, like JJ Trilla did, Odin's Child did, and Tyler Crafton did. Tyron Crafton. Woo! Let's go, baby. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Where you think Clowney is going? Man, obsessions, ATF. Definitely not the Seahawks. You know what I mean? If they thought they were going to be able to get Clowney, you ain't getting them now. So I know Michael Thomas did a tweet saying, hey, come to the Islands, come to the Saints. But I don't think he's going to go there. I think where he's going to end up falling is the Cleveland Browns. him and Myles Garrett. But it all depends on the interest of the Browns, the money. He wants a lot of money. He wants like 50 to 20 million per season. Not a lot of teams can afford that at this point. So it's going to be interesting, but there's still guys like Everson Griffin, who's solid, who's playing on, obviously, the game on TV now against the Niners. Him and Danielle Hunter tore up the Saints, and that was a big reason why they beat the Saints last year in the playoffs. But Clowney underachieved last season. He got Wentz hurt. It kind of ended the season for the Eagles that way, left a bad taste in people's mouths. You know what I mean? Clowney wasn't as good as he was in years past, but he's still a dominant player. It just depends on who's got the money for Clowney. I thought Seahawks would have been a great fit, but that was prior to the Jamal Adams news, because obviously you got him there now. So, I don't know. Cleveland Browns, who knows who the suitor is going to be? I hope it's not the Patriots. You know what I mean? Maybe the Patriots will come up with some kind of crazy offer and he'll go there. But, wherever he goes is going to be a huge impact for that defense. Even if he ends up taking rotational snaps, which I doubt, he'll be a starter right out the gates. But we'll see how that goes. Chiefs sign Osamuele because he said Larry opting out. Okay. Said, okay, I see you, Odin's Child. I know there's been a lot of different moves and noises and things coming out. Yeah, I know. Odin's Child, Osamuele. That's actually a nice little pickup for the Chiefs Kingdom. You know what I mean? I've been watching a lot of film on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CEH, and a lot of the Chiefs players as well. I know Tardif is going to end up not playing this season because he's in Canada, kind of battling the COVID and trying to help with that. Being one of those, kind of guys that's the face of the NFL for COVID-19 and everything. So I still think that's going to be okay. They'll still be all right. But it definitely is a little bit of a hit for that offensive line. But, the Chiefs, 20 out of 22 starters. Now, if it's 19 out of 22, I still think they're the favorite team to win the Super Bowl, and that's facts. Raiders gave Clowney a low ball offer. And I really feel that Clowney wants money really more than going to a playoff team. But, we'll have to see if he takes less to go to a contender or he goes and gets a shitload of money from a bad team. Maybe the Jets get him now. You know what I mean? Since they just got rid of all their pieces. They got nobody on their team anymore except for Sam Darnold and supposedly Le'Veon Bell. But I don't know about that. I'm a little more proud of one of the guys Dallas had picked up in the draft this year, Reggie Robinson. I never interacted with him, but he was a freshman when I was a senior in high school. Okay. Never interacted with him. Okay. I see you, slackers. That's kind of crazy. I know. You never know. I ended up watching Kevin Love, in high school when he had played ball here in Oregon at Lake O. You know what I mean? So you just never know, who might be at your school or nearby or someone that you might be able to watch. It's just one of those things, you'll root for certain guys. Sometimes everyone's journey in the NFL or professional sports is different, but you end up having some guys that end up being your favorites for whatever reason, Good lineman and journeyman. Facts. Do you think Philip Lindsay might want a trade after the season because the Broncos signed Gordon? No, because Melvin Gordon, I don't want to say he's washed, right? Royce Freeman is a good third down back, change of pace back. Melvin Gordon is just brought in for insurance. If they thought that Melvin Gordon was so good, they wouldn't have kept Eckler for the Chargers and let Melvin Gordon go. He sat out. He thought for sure the Chargers were going to give him a big deal. They said, fuck you, go ahead and leave. We got Eckler. We don't need you, right? So I don't think so. I think Philip Lindsay, you got to look. He's one of the best undrafted running backs of all time. To make a Pro Bowl and to make noise like he did from Colorado and then to play with Denver and get a shot. He runs aggressive. He runs downhill. He doesn't fumble a whole lot. He's a feisty motherfucker, and I like him a lot. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys in fantasy football. He's going to lose a little value because sometimes Royce Freeman will get a goal line look, or maybe Melvin Gordon will steal a look from him. But by far, even though Royce Freeman is one of my Oregon Ducks, Philip Lindsay is the best running back on that squad, and it's not even close. So I think he's going to stay, because why not? Drew Lock, Philip Lindsay, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, Noah Fant. Why not? Why the fuck not? Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, you got plenty of pieces there. Why would you want to go anywhere? Jarrell Casey, now he's there, right? You got Justin Simmons on the back end, one of the best safeties in football. So, yeah, why would you want to leave? I think he's a part, and he played at Colorado in college. So why would he want to go somewhere, different when he's used to Colorado? He's used to Denver. So I think he's going to be there for a long, long time. And then once his, rookie deal is up, he's going to get paid like big time, especially for being undrafted. You know what I mean? You don't see guys undrafted play that well very often. He's a stud. I absolutely love him. Tom Brady as a backup in Michigan is a classic that yeah, exactly. I mean, who would have thought, you know what I mean? You got guys like Brian Griese and all these guys. Tom Brady just never got a shot, you know what I mean? But also, too, it was a system that he was in with Belichick and Josh McDaniels. And remember, they had Charlie Weiss and Romeo Cornell. So they had a lot of great O coordinators, D coordinators, head coaching, Kraft. They had all the players. But Brady worked really, really hard to learn the system for a guy that can't run fast. I mean, he really put in a lot of time to be the next Joe Montana of this generation. And now I got to see if he can end up doing something special, for my Buccaneers. So you never know. No baseball, Ryan? Oh, I'm watching it, man. Like I said, I'm flipping back and forth. I ended up watching your Nats destroy the fucking Yankees. I ended up watching that. Then I ended up watching, I'm on the Padres and the Diamondbacks. And I watched the Cubs earlier today. Dodgers, right? Saw them lose to the Giants. Mariners are some trash. I love my Ken Griffey Jr., but come on, Juan Gotti. I mean, there's not a lot of us that love baseball, but I do. And then at some point, I might try to be able to do a live stream, pitch by pitch, watch party with some MLB games and maybe do some reactions to some of the highlights of the MLB. But I got to be able to find a channel that won't block me, because if I go straight to the MLB, I haven't really done too much MLB work. So if they block my video or try to strike me on my channel, I don't know if I really want to risk that. You know what I mean? But I mean, we'll see. But I definitely would love to be able to talk MLB with more people that love it as much as me. No Soto, I know, but look how you crushed it today, Juan Gotti. You guys killed it against the Yankees. They went from Paxton to fucking like 10 other pitchers in that game. I watched it, man. You guys were on point. You guys murdered the Yankees, and right now most people think it's going to be Dodgers, Yankees in the World Series. But, I mean, you never know. Anything is possible. J.J. Trilla, $2. Odin's Child, $10. Tyron Crafton, bang, $50. My boys. I love it, man. Such love, such determination. The Fanatic family is the best on YouTube. And like I said, your boy's grinding. This is my 4th video today. The first video, smartest plays in NFL history, a reaction with Patrick Mahomes' no-look pass as the thumbnail. Then I did the Alvin Kamara AK-41 2019-2020 highlights in HD for his 25th birthday today, right? Then I ended up breaking the news of the NFL #1 safety, Jamal Adams to the Seahawks, 2-hour live stream. Then we're on this one. Give my voice a rest for about 2-3 hours. NFL top 5 traded players going into the 2020 season with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Man, what a day. Ooh, nice tackle by the Niners. Says Giancarlo, giving Trout his run for his money for AL MVP. That's my pick. Oh, absolutely. You got Judge, you got Giancarlo Stanton. They're going to be great. And Trout, is always money. So I'm excited to see, all the players just get acclimated to baseball. And I love it, man. Like I said, I've been just juicing and waiting for baseball. I mean, I can watch these NFL reruns from the playoffs and all the action that they show. And I always like NFL, college football, and AEW wrestling the best. But I have a special love for MLB and NBA, and certain matchups that come along. And obviously my dad is from LA, big Dodger guy. So when I can spend time with my dad and watch baseball with him, it's a special time for us, having that little father-son bond. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see who progresses, who ends up making a run. And there's always going to be some surprise teams. There's only 60 games, this season. So we'll have to see on how it goes. Matt Olson, walk-off grand slam. I didn't see it because I ended up passing out, to be honest. But I tried to catch up on as much action as I possibly could. Who do you think will be the most productive rookie running back for their team? Woo! That's a good one. I mean, DeAndre Swift on the Lions, he's going to have to split time with Kerryon Johnson, right? So if DeAndre Swift gets a starting spot and Kerryon Johnson's the third down change of pace back and Stafford has a good year, I can see the Lions getting a wild card this season. I love him, right? Clyde Edwards-Helaire and his role, he could be offensive rookie of the year just based off that system and everything that they do, right? Then you got Jonathan Taylor for the Colts with the best offensive lineman in the league, and Quentin Nelson. He's going to have a great role with Marlon Mack. So it's really tough to say on who is going to be the best one, out of those 3 main guys. And there's others that I can mention as well. But I think to me, those are the ones right out the gate. Jonathan Taylor, Wisconsin from the Colts. right? And then DeAndre Swift and Clyde Edwards-Helaire are probably at the very top. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is in the perfect team, the perfect setup. How many carries does he get with Damian Williams, though? Is he the starter? And Damian Williams is the change of pace back? Or is Damian Williams the starter and Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the change of pace back? Is DeAndre Swift the starter or is it Kerryon Johnson? So really it depends on who's going to be starting and getting most looks. But I think DeAndre Swift and Clyde Edwards-Helaire would be my pick of the ones to make the most difference. And like I said, Clyde Edwards-Helaire can help that team win another Super Bowl to go back-to-back. And I think DeAndre Swift could be a baby Todd Gurley before he got his knee tore up. He's got a lot of characteristics like Todd Gurley, and if he starts playing great football like Josh Jacobs did for the Raiders last year, that could be a team that starts making the playoffs, leapfrogging not only the Chicago Bears, but leapfrogging the Vikings, right? And we could have the Packers and the Lions as the top two teams in the NFC North. So I'm excited to see where it goes, but that's my personal pick, out of those guys. Matthew Stafford is a dark horse. Oh, I don't think he's going to win an MVP, but I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Lions, and I've been one for the last 2 months, have been saying over and over and over, I like the Lions. I really do. This season, I think that they can make the playoffs as a wild card. I mean, it'll be tough. They're a sleeper team like the Cardinals, right, and the Los Angeles Rams, right? The Rams have some holes, but Cam Akers is great, right? They don't have a running back as dominant as Todd Gurley. The Cardinals' defense is horrible, but now you got D-Hop and Kyler Murray and Kenyon Drake, so it's sexy. The Lions have a lot of great wide receivers. Kenny Golladay is the most underrated wide receiver in the game besides Keenan Allen. Marvin Jones, and you got a lot of other pieces there as well. So I'm intrigued. DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson. You got a lot of nice pieces in that core, moving forward, and the defense is kind of underrated too for the Lions as well. So I would put money on Stafford getting hurt. Well, you know what? I don't want him to get hurt. The NFL is better when Matthew Stafford is healthy. I mean, personally, we need the Lions to be good. I want to see the bottom feeders rise to the top. You know what I mean? I feel for teams like that because I'm a Buccaneer fan. I don't want the Cardinals to be bad forever. I don't want the Jags to be bad forever. I mean, I want to be able to get some of these different teams up towards the top. That's just me personally. NFL top 5 traded players going into 2020, the NFL season, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, like JJ Trilla did, $2. Odin's Child, $10. Tyrone Crafton, $50 motherfucking dollars. Bang, 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 bang. I love you guys. You guys are the best. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Well, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Like I said, I'm going to go through it one more time for the fans that just came in late. And then, like I said, I'll be back. I'm going to go floating tomorrow, Barton to Carver. So it's going to be like 100 degrees in Oregon. So a lot of beer, I'll be floating up with, a few of my friends. And it should be a fun time. I went last weekend and it was great. We floated up and linked up with 5 or 6 of my friends, my girlfriend, and a few of her friends. And it's about a 4-hour float. And like I said, you just drive about 30 minutes from here. You have your rafts and your different devices. You got your beer, you got your liquor, you got your food, any of the other things that you want to bring. And then you just float. And I mean, shit, there was a lot of people out there. You're all spread out. But there probably was at least 500 to 1,000 people spread out from each other, all floating up and down the Clackamas River. So we're blessed out here in Oregon, to be able to do a lot. So NFL top 5 traded players going into 2020 with the hardest working NFL YouTuber on planet Earth, your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Honorable mention, Rob Gronkowski. Is he deserving to be in the top 5? Absolutely. But I wanted to give love to some other players. His chemistry with Tom Brady is undeniable. Shaq and Kobe, MJ and Pippen, Malone and Stockton, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. I expect them to play great and to get to the playoffs as a wild card team behind the New Orleans Saints in the NFC South. Honorable mention, Rob Gronkowski. Another one, the Washington football team. Tackle, legend, got moved this season. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the future Hall of Famer, Trent Williams for Bang Bang Niner Gang. I absolutely love Trent Williams. He's going to be lined up with Matt McGlinchey from Notre Dame. They fell a little short against Patrick the Clone Mahomes in the Super Bowl, but that's a nice key piece to add on for barely anything. So Trent Williams to the 49ers, another honorable mention. And my last one is one of my favorite players that's not really well known, from the Tennessee Titans now to the Denver Broncos, Jurrell Casey. It's going to make a big impact because now you got Jurrell Casey, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb, Justin Simmons on the back end. I like Drew Lock and I like the progression. Look for the Broncos to be that sleeper under the radar team like the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Lions in the NFC. The Broncos are my kind of watch and see what they do, them and the Cleveland Browns this season in the AFC. Honorable mention, Jurrell Casey. Number five, they call big play. All right, I love myself some big play Slay. Darius Slay, number 5 from the Lions to Fly Eagles Fly. Watch out, he's going to be flying in and making a lot of plays. Number 5, Darius Slay. He can play safety. He can play corner. He can do it all. 46 tackles, 36 solo, 2 picks last season. He'll obliterate those numbers from 2015 to 2018. 7 corners were drafted from Fly Eagles Fly and Philly Nation. They didn't get it right. They missed on all those guys. Thank God for Darius Slay. Now they got him, step in Slay, 3-year, $50 million extension. I can't wait for him to play with all the other greats on that lineup. Fletcher Cox, Derek Barnett, and I don't even need to go into all the rest. I'm so excited for Darius Slay to be on a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. Number four, we got a wide receiver that likes to talk the talk. But guess what? He likes to walk the walk. Formerly of Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, now with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Number 4, Stefon Diggs. 63 receptions, a career high, 1,130 yards, 6 TDs. He'll be able to beat that. Great route runner, a great competitor, one of the best deep ball threats in the NFL. He's going to help Josh Allen take the next step, and I think they're going to win the AFC East, even over the New England Patriots and Cam Newton. Number 4, Stefon Diggs. Number 3 is from Eugene. I'm very familiar with him. He's a beast. 6'7", 295 pounds. He had 62 tackles, 34 solo, 7.5 sacks last season. He was on the Niners. They had to trade with the Colts. The Niners picked up Brandon Ayuk in the trade, right, from Arizona State. Going to help really with that Deebo Samuel injury. But this player is going to be a huge impact guy for the Indianapolis Colts. Number 3, DeForest Buckner. The last 2 seasons combined 19.5 sacks at D-tackle. I know Aaron Donald can do that in 1 year, but not everyone can be Aaron Donald. He's an impact player, and if he ends up playing great like I think he is, right, you got him, Darius Leonard, Malik Hooker on the back end, Andy Espinosa from Iowa as another pass rusher. Watch out for Andy Espinosa and DeForest Buckner to wreak havoc on all them teams in the AFC. Number 3, DeForest Buckner. Number 2 is a vet from the Cardinals to the Jags, now to the Ravens flock. One of my favorite DNs of all time. Great hands, great footwork, and he knows how to use his body. 56 tackles, 37 solo, 6.5 sacks. We're talking about the stud, future Hall of Famer, Calais Campbell at number 2. Run defense in 2019 wasn't that great. 14-2 is what the Ravens' record was, but they ranked 21st in yards allowed. Right? I need double-digit sacks from Calais Campbell, right? Not 6.5. You got Campbell, Derek Wolfe from the Broncos, right? Judon got re-signed. And then you got Marlon Humphrey. In the secondary, I'm excited for this team. And if any team wins the Super Bowl, not named the Kansas City Chiefs, guess what? It's going to be Ravens flock and the Baltimore Ravens. Calais Campbell at number 2. And number 1, you've seen the thumbnail. It's the best wide receiver in the game, not named Michael Thomas. You know who it is. He went from the Texans with... Obviously, we know Deshaun Watson. Now he's with another stud that's going to be an MVP consideration, Kyler Murray. We're talking about the Arizona Cardinals and DeAndre Hopkins. 104 receptions with Watson last season. 1,165 yards, 7 TDs. I think he can obliterate that number with Kyler Murray. He's been a top 2 wide receiver pretty much since he came in the league. It's always been Antonio Brown and DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Thomas and DeAndre Hopkins. I've always had Julio behind, right, even though Julio's great. But I like his hands. I like his route running, 50-50 balls. I mean, he's been doing this shit since he was at Clemson with Sammy Watkins. He's a deep threat. You can't beat this guy on jump balls, period. He's a leader. You got Larry Fitzgerald, D-Hop, Andy Isabella, Christian Kirk, Keyshawn Johnson, Kenyon Drake, Kyler Murray, right? You got Chandler Jones on the defense, Budda Baker, Isaiah Simmons at linebacker from Clemson. I love this team. Defense ranked last in 2019. Hopkins needs help, and I think they're going to get it. DeAndre Hopkins, number 1. NFL top 5 traded players going into 2020 with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that motherfucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, like JJ Trilla did, $2. Odin's Child, $10. Tyron Crafton, $50 motherfucking dollars. Bang, 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 bang. I love you guys. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. So I've done 2 reaction videos, 2 live streams going for over 3 hours. I got some more film to watch. I got the Vikings and the Niners on. I got MLB to watch. I got team websites to go to. So I'm going to end up ending the show since I've already repeated it about 3 to 4 times. I hope you guys have a great Saturday. JJ Trilla, thank you so much, $2. Odin's Child, the regular, always showing love, $10. And look at Tyron Crafton I'm not sure if this is your first donation to the channel. I feel that it is, but with a $50 donation for a first donation and showing that kind of love when you got off work, and you thought maybe I would just end the stream, and you see the love that I have for you and the rest of the Fanatic family, and then you show love back with a $50 donation. That means everything to me. Thank you so much. I've been grinding. A Guy in the building, Lenny D, Ryan Schrick. I did see that Asamuele got picked up by the Chiefs. That's great. Tardif is not going to play on the offensive line. I saw that, but he's helping to battle COVID, which is very respectable. But you guys are the best fans. I couldn't ask for a better family of football fanatics and sport fanatics in general, from MLB, NBA, college football, wrestling, WWE, AEW, NFL, all of the above. I love you guys, every single one of you. You guys mean everything to me. I'm going to grind. And if you're looking for the #1 source and NFL content, you got it right here with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. So make sure you guys have a great rest of your night. Wash them hands. Be safe. And like I said, I'll try to do another video when I get back from the float tomorrow. But to be very honest, I'll probably be too drunk and too probably hit up with sunstroke or heat stroke. I'll probably just be exhausted from all the drinking and floating that I'm going to be doing. So I probably won't be in the right condition to do a reaction video or a live stream, but you never know. Your boy is a grinder, so it might be possible. I ain't going to do a drunk live stream or a drunk reaction, right? Well, maybe when I'm actually calling a game or something like that, but, kind of have a couple beers, but I want to make sure everything is on point. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to JJ Trilla, Odin's Child, and Tyron Crafton. $2, $10, $50. You guys are the fucking best fans on planet Earth. And like I said, turn on NFL Network. Niners, Vikings 2019 playoff recap. They're going to be showing games all night long from the playoffs. MLB is on as well. So there's plenty of things to watch if you want to watch baseball or NFL. I got a lot of research to do and film study to do to make sure I can stay on top as the #1 guy on YouTube for NFL coverage. And like I said, I'll be back very, very soon. Enjoy your Saturday, y'all. Everyone in the building, Lenny D, A Guy, Ryan Schrick, Jacob, as I scroll up, and I don't want to leave anyone out. Juan Gotti, Tyron, A Guy, Slackers, Odin's Child, everyone in the building. I appreciate you guys. Lenny D, Heel Pock, JJ Trilla, Anonymous Donut, all you guys. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Enjoy your weekend. And if you guys are looking for some other things to watch, like I said, I busted out 4 different things today. So we got this live stream, NFL Top 5 Traded Players going 2020. I did an AK-41 Alvin Kamara highlight package from last season to honor his 25th birthday today. That one's about 5 minutes long. So if you want to watch some highlights and get juiced up for Alvin Kamara, I got that. Smartest plays in NFL history from my boy Highlight Heaven, a great compilation of NFL highlights from the last 50 years. Amazing. You can check that out. And then I also did NFL #1 safety Jets Jamal Adams traded to the Seahawks, a 2-hour live stream there. So any type of info that you guys want to watch, plus we have plenty of other videos. We're getting closer and closer to getting to 1,000 videos in the library. We broke 3 million views. We're getting close to 20,000 subscribers. I need your guys' help. So anytime you guys can share it with anyone that loves sports, that would be greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your Saturday night. I love you guys, and I'll be back very soon. Peace. Man, you guys are the best fans. Planet Earth. JJ Trilla, Odin's Child, Tyron Crafton, $2, $10, $50. Thank you guys, man. Love you. Peace.